Hello, hello, and welcome to the Mid-Penn Media Center's broadcasting today. I'm your host, Jacob Verges, and we are joined by 6 wonderful panelists from the San Mateo Youth and County area. And today we are going to be covering the Richard D. Young Oratory Speech Contest. Thank you all for having us here today. And before we start, I mentioned who I am, but for those that don't know who I am the black and brown youth that run and play through our streets. I am East Palo Alto, baby. Don't forget the E. I am the gardens, that's the G. Flowers label all my streets. I am your brother up the block. Our mission keeps our souls in sync. I am the gardener here to garner my community's needs, like more opportunities for the kings and queens that look like me, that look like you. Needs like more resources for the youth, more gyms so we could hoop, rec centers with free food and career opportunities and open mics too. I am that kid from a vicious system that broke out, brave enough to choose a different route. I could have been like my peers when things went south, but the God I serve just wouldn't allow it. And now I am that peace that you feel when you finally found him. I am the faith of a mustard seed that lifts up mountains. No, I'm the water in the fountain of youth that keeps even the eldest elder spirit in tune. I am the elephant, I am the mammoth, and I am the East Palo Alto Macedon swinging in the room. I am the light that shines bright behind the truth. And if you look into that mirror with your conscience clear, if they really did their best to feel and hear me, then you will see that I am you. Thank you. All right, now that we've gotten that out the way, y'all, so happy to be presenting this event for you all today. But before we start, I would be amiss to not recognize this person today. This person that I'm referring to right now, this event could not be possible without them. This person is a pillar in our community of East Palo Alto, has been working tirelessly for over 50 years to make sure that people like me and youth like you have opportunities and spaces to share and express the things that are most important to them. So at this time, can we all please give a warm round of applause to our very own Miss the Elizabeth Jackson. Please make some noise.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for that warm welcome. My name is Elizabeth Jackson, and I have been living in East Palo Alto more for a long time. But I want to talk about the youth today. Our youth in our community are very hardworking members of the community, and they are doing quite a bit of community service work, and we can't go by pass this up without having them to have the opportunity to come out and speak about their community service work that they've done. I am a member of the East Palo Alto Bayshore Rotary, and I'm working with also Bayshore University Rotary in our area, and we put together a contest for these youth, and we want you to enjoy their comments about the work they've been done. Thank you very much for coming.
Amen, and thank you, Ms. Jackson, for that. Can we give her another round of applause, please? All right, so panelists, before we get started today, I'll have you all just go down in a row, so we'll start with you, and we'll say your name, the high school that you go to, and what grade that you're in. Sounds good? All right, take us away.
Yes, so I'm Jose Vasquez.
I go to Eastside College Prep, and I'm a senior.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is David Oche. I'm a 9th grader and I attend the New Ava School.
Hi, I'm Justin Cheng. I go to Gunn High School and I'm a sophomore.
Hello, I'm Ashley. I'm in 11th grade and I go to Los Gatos High School. Hi, I'm Keiki Lenny Ward, and I go to Eastside College Prep. I'm also a senior.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Siva. I go to Palo Alto High School, and I'm a junior.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So actually, Elizabeth, we'll go ahead and start with you, and we're going to get right into the meat and potatoes of today's performance or presentation. So, Miss Elizabeth, my first question for you today, and actually it'll be aimed to all of you all, so you all can think about what you have to say. What inspired you to get involved in community service, and how has it helped shape who you are today?
Okay, so the kind of community service that I love doing most is tutoring people. I was really inspired to start this, to start tutoring kids in my community. I tutor online through Schoolhouse as a part of Khan Academy. A lot of my groups are majority girls, and I was inspired to start doing that and getting involved this way because of my own experiences. So at my school, I've had the opportunity to take a lot of STEM classes. And one thing that I've noticed is a huge disparity between the number of girls and boys in those classes. And when I think about why, I think about the ways in which teachers and communities and social norms subtly discourage girls from participating in mathematics and science. And I wanted to make a difference in that field. And I want to help encourage girls. So.
Amen. Well, we're truly lucky to have you bridging that gap for this diversity. Thank you.
Some of the community work that I have done is I've worked in a nonprofit organization called Canopy. And so I was inspired by activist Dolores Huerta, who firmly believed in actually going in the trenches and putting your money where your mouth is, essentially. So me and my friends, we would go and we would canvas, and we would also plant trees ourselves. We would plant trees in people's yards, and they had Bentleys. They had these different types of cars when there's other people that are still struggling and other people that still have to carry the work and carry this country day by day. And so with that, my work has allowed me to connect with other people and essentially be grateful and find strength within unity.
Thank you.
I was inspired because I would just growing up, I saw a lot of homeless people, and I'm like, what can I do to help? So I started with this outreach program, and they host events for homeless people, and so we would provide clothing and food and entertainment and prayer for them, and just to give them a sense of hope and that people do care out there, and we want to help you, and we want just the best for you.
Amen.
So I joined an organization called Dreamcatchers back in Palo Alto. So you know the middle schools like JLS and Fletcher? So there's actually a program where high schoolers like me, from the Palo Alto area, we got a tutor. We have the opportunity to help tutor and teach the middle schoolers many things, such as school habits, work habits, and we also help them with a lot of material about their school. And I just was inspired by one of my friends who also did it from Gun High School. And yeah, I just think that it's really helpful for the middle schoolers there.
Awesome. That's very good work.
So how I serve in my community is by being a counselor, and over the summer how I did that was that I served with between the ages of I think maybe 3 to 6, and that is a very hard group, I will be honest. They have really tested my patience, but how that helped me was that it just gave me a chance to see how different age groups and different groups of people act differently, and it helped me understand that I have to try different methods of coping with people and just in general just collaborating with them, because there's a lot that you can find from different group of people that you wouldn't think you would be able to get. And I found very beneficial that I would learn different information that I would probably not even know if I didn't interact with those groups of people.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, so I was inspired mainly because before I used to live in Mexico, and so over there the environment is more dry and there's just a lot of dead trees since I live in a very hot area. When I came here, I found that the streets were filled with green trees, and I also saw the difference between the green space in Palo Alto and East Palo Alto. And so when I heard about Canopy, I figured that this was a way to really help my community by making a more greener environment, how I can make the streets look a lot nicer.
Very good work. Thank you all for sharing. And I'll stick with you for the next question, Jose, and it'll be directed to you all as well. In your service efforts or in the community service work that you've done, what are some challenges that you faced, and how are you able to overcome them? If they weren't typical challenges, maybe just things in your thought process, or what were some things that popped up as obstacles, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, well, my main obstacle, which is of course I feel like pretty much everybody feels at first, is sort of like the sort of feeling like you don't really belong there. So at first I was kind of quiet. I didn't really speak, but knowing that I had such great like companions, and we call ourselves Teen Urban Foresters, so we're toughs, and knowing that there was such a strong community that I could really talk to people. Over time, I made a lot of good friends, and I'm still in contact with them. But I was able to overcome at the end.
That's awesome. Definitely pretty tough, man.
Thank you.
For me, my major challenge would probably be just time. Not how to balance the things I really wanted to do, and then maybe waking up at 8 a.m. to go see the 6th graders or the 4th graders who scream at me all the time. I would just say overall, just taking the action would probably be the hardest challenge, and how that I overcame that was telling myself how much of a benefit I could be for my community and how much of a benefit I could be to others in general.
Thank you.
So I wouldn't say there are really that many great challenges, but same as before, the obstacle is time, because obviously it takes a lot of time to like tutor kids after school almost like every day. And another obstacle I would say is like they're pretty goofy and like the kids, like they're not really like focused. So as mentors, we have to overcome this challenge by like trying to get them like focused on the task, because obviously as middle schoolers they'll be like playing around with other middle schoolers, but we want them to improve in their studies and work habits. So we just try to help them with that.
Awesome.
One challenge I faced when I was doing outreach, so we have like all the clothes set up for people to get, and we set a limit. And so there was one lady, and she like wanted like a lot of the socks, and so then this other lady was yelling at her because she was like thinking that there was not enough for her. So I was just like, I just kept calm, and I was like, it's okay, and like patient, and then there ended up being enough like socks for her. So I just like kept calm and just reminded me like just keep calm.
Amen. No, that's awesome. Patience always is very key in this work that we do.
So a really big challenge that I faced, I guess I can say as an instructor, because for a while I was a martial arts instructor for kids. I taught boxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And the hardest part, I guess, was within those 2 hours that I had with those kids daily, I tried my best to protect them, and I had to keep them safe from sometimes circumstances and situations that were out of my control, but I could do my best with the time that I had and be the resource that I could be as much as I could within the 2 hours that I had. It's only 8 hours a week, but it was time to engage and interact, and it taught me how to be more thoughtful, more compassionate, and be more willing and more graceful towards younger people. So,
Wow, thank you for
that. Just to elaborate a little bit on more of what I do. I tutor online, right? So the people I tutor come from all around the world. And a major challenge that I face usually when I'm hosting boot camps online is retention. So people will show up for the first day, and then as time goes on, they'll stop showing up. Now, maybe they forget, maybe more important things come up, but a big reason behind that, I feel like, especially when I started out, tutoring online was a lack of community, because it's really, really hard to foster a safe and space community in an online Zoom. I mean, everybody's got their cameras off, nobody's talking to each other. If they are, it's one-word sentences in the chat. But now when I approach this kind of challenge, and I turn on my own camera and I see like 10 people have joined, I really try to bring that community. And so whether it's telling jokes or asking people how their day was, it's just about getting people to interact and grow together.
Amen. No, comfortability is huge. That's very awesome. Now, for this next question, we're going to switch gears. This is still going to be directed to all of you, so I'll start with you, Elizabeth, and we'll go work our way down. For my next question, I ask you all, if someone your age told you that they felt that their voice didn't matter in making a difference, what would you say to them?
Well, I'd ask them why, because if they tell me that they feel like their voice isn't making a difference, I'd ask them why they feel that way. If somebody told me that, my first priority would be to connect with them as a person, right? I want to know what circumstances they've been through. I want to know their story. I want to know how they think they can make a difference, if they think that's at all possible. And then I would probably ask them, I'd ask them what they want to do next, and I'd ask them how I can help.
That sounds like a great plan.
I would start off by showing them, and as I previously mentioned, interacting with the youth, and furthermore, it's like having those conversations about mental health and just about their voices, and just showing them how to access those resources, showing them how to network, and just being a safe space, and also listening and getting rid of any cognitive dissonance or any ignorance that might come unintentionally, and just keeping your mind and heart open.
I would probably share like one of my personal experiences, like a small, like the smallest thing, like someone can compliment you and or their kindness, and it can just change you. It can just change your mood, and like it can be a better day. And so, with them saying that, like that's not true, because someone's kindness can really like me personally, like I've had a bad day, and then like someone says a nice compliment to me, and it really helps me, and like keep that in my heart. So that's probably like what I would say to them, and like, yeah.
So relating to my situation about tutoring kids, if someone were to say to me that they wouldn't feel like they had a voice or would make an impact in like tutoring the kids, I would say I'm pretty relatively new to it, and then I would talk about how my other friend inspired me, and how like talk about like what I did and how I did it, because I'm pretty new. I could tell him what I did, and obviously I could give him advice and tell him what to do. And it's like it would be like natural. First day, it would be maybe a bit uncomfortable since it's like a relatively new environment. But I would say if you go there after the first week, you'll just feel it's natural. You'll start to know the middle schoolers. They could be like your friends. And I just think like you just have to start like try.
I would tell them the voice does matter. I've had numerous times where people tell me my voice doesn't matter as a immigrant myself, and I would say you can never let them stop you, because I feel if you every time someone told me I couldn't do something and I listened, I probably wouldn't be here now. If I'm being very honest with you, and I feel that in order for you to actually make an impact in some way or fashion, I think you need to actually, when anyone tells you no, do the opposite. And most times, I'm not telling you to break any sorts of rules, but I'm saying you can make a difference even when people are trying to stop you from doing or making that difference.
Yeah, so as my dad says, every person matters. At the end of the day, any sort of thing that you do has a butterfly effect that affects another person. So I would tell them, yes, they do matter, and that they should really value themselves and not put themselves down or in a shadow. They should really just open up, try to speak out, and I feel like that would really help them.
Wow, very, very inspirational. Thinking about all of your replies, makes me wish I had people like you around when I was your age, because you guys are very motivational and inspirational. All right, changing gears again, I'd like to know, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Based on some of the work that you're doing now or some of the things that you're interested in, what types of careers or potential positions are you pursuing?
Yeah, so right now, I'm currently enrolling in classes for college. So of course, I'm gonna see myself in college. Hopefully, yeah, nothing happens, nothing bad happens. But I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
So where do you see yourself in 5 years, whether just career-wise, position-wise, any field that you potentially want to be in? Where do you see yourself? What is your future looking like?
Yeah, and also, I see myself in probably in a job that I really enjoy, such as one of my interests are sort of like going into a business major.
Okay.
And from there, I feel like it would really help me get into sort of a banking opportunity where I could probably be in an internship, or even the internship could later on help me get a good job that's offered there.
Thank you.
Where I would see myself in 5 years is that I would have had a very accomplished high school career in which I would have been able to help and benefit my community in many different ways, giving back my time and just overall passion to have been shown over my high school career. And I would have probably started my freshman year of college as a biotech major in computation, no biotech, and I would just overall be enjoying my life as a college student and also not giving up on the community that I've already been in and actually using the resources that I've been given to help others.
So in 5 years, I would see myself as being a sophomore in college, and I would see myself in maybe a UC or one of the colleges near California, because that's where I do my community service, where I can tutor the middle schoolers. And I would see myself having done a lot of work with the tutoring and the middle schoolers, and like see myself having a long-lasting impact to that community. So yeah.
Thank you.
I see myself like being ultrasound tech, and then also like hopefully having like a nonprofit for the less fortunate, and then something like to do with like culinary, like with food and stuff, and yeah.
Well, within 5 years, I'll have graduated from college as a political science and international studies major, and hopefully have my real estate license by then, because I plan on buying back the land that gentrification has taken, and we gotta somebody a long time ago, one of my homies told me we gotta re-gentrify, and we gotta stay here. So.
Amen. Well, I know who to go to when I need a house.
In 5 years, I would love to be, well, okay, I'm most likely, like 99%, I'm gonna be an applied math major. It's probably my biggest passion. But I'm gonna be, I think, a junior or senior in university. I don't want to do it right now. Hopefully I'll still be participating in choir and a cappella. You know the movie Pitch Perfect. It's like, when I first saw it, I don't know how many years ago, but I thought that's gonna be me when I get to university. So I'd love to do that. Either start or join like an established a cappella group. And then also, I would love to run another half marathon in 5 years. I ran one when I was in 8th grade. Doing one again, that would be like so much fun. I feel like training and then doing it and then seeing your reward, and the exhilaration and the adrenaline at the end is just amazing. I want to do it again.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're able to get that done. I definitely wish you the best with your endeavors.
Yeah.
All right, so at this time, we're getting close to the end, y'all, but I do have a couple more questions for you. So at this time, we're going to have a random dance battle. No, I'm playing. At this time, I have another question for you all, and it's going to be directed to all of you, so be prepared to answer. My question is, through your community service efforts or the work that you've been doing, have you created any long-lasting friendships or connections? And if so, can you tell us about them?
Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, there have been so many. It's kind of hard to keep track of. Okay, so one of my closest friends, her name is Alara. She, like me, is also really invested in mathematics. And over the past few years, we've taken several university level math classes together. It's like a whole thing when you can bond over the things that you're learning and have meaningful discussions. It's so important to me that I keep doing that. But recently, we started tutoring together. And the relationships that we've been able to build with our tutees, but also just with each other, is incredible. Yeah. Teaching something to somebody else is very difficult. Getting them to understand it and making it meaningful is hard. Building a relationship with the person that you're trying to teach is even more difficult, especially if they're struggling or if they're having a difficult time learning something. But if you have another tutor or teacher or mentor, somebody beside you doing it, it makes it so much easier and better and more fun.
Amen.
Some of the long-lasting relationships that I've been able to create while volunteering has been like in Live in Peace with my Uncle Gene, my big brother Casey, Khaleesi, Jesse, Bo, Emmy, Meme, like so many people. Yes, like just everybody there, Uncle Stan and like Auntie Heather. And also, you know, back in the day I used to say Mr. Jacob, but now just Jacob. But along those connections, it's just taught me to be sincere and be authentic. And yeah, thank you.
Amen.
I like connected back with a friend that I had in elementary school. So while I was volunteering, I was surprised to see her, but yeah, she was there and she was volunteering. So it was cool to like share how the years that have gone by, and like she's at a different school. So we have like stuff and interest, and it's cool to see that.
So I've made some great relationships with the other tutors and mentors from the Dreamcatchers organization. And yeah, it's just fun having people the same age as you doing the same things that you're doing with the same kids as well. And one of my friends are also from Gunn High School. After school, every day we have the tutor. We always walk together to Fletcher and we just tutor the kids. Sometimes we're in the same room, sometimes we're not, but it's pretty fun. And also, we also make some pretty fun relationships with the middle schoolers there as well. And we can we hang out sometimes and we know each other. And it's pretty exciting when you are chosen to tutor one of your friends there, yeah.
I would say the connections that I've been able to make have helped me just overall know different people, and I was able to even meet a former classmate of mine here in those different opportunities that I find myself in. And I feel from each opportunity I find myself, I'm able to build more confidence and just overall just connect and gel with different people, which helps me, I guess, advance my social skills. And it's an enjoyable experience, yeah, definitely.
Amen.
Yeah, so I've definitely made some friends from Canopy. So on my first day, actually my friend Angel, he introduced me to everybody. And during orientation, he also really helped me sort of meeting everybody and asking the right questions to get the instructor to like you a little more. And then also my friend Chris, although we don't really speak a lot, he's also been a really good friend, and he really helped me sort of open up and branch out. And for him, I'm really thankful. Also, my friend Miguel, although we really don't speak as well, we do send each other a couple reels here and there. But that's really only our way of communication. But hopefully, yeah, I continue to have such great friendships like these.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you all so much for sharing and being vulnerable this evening. Unfortunately, time has flown by and we're coming to the end of our broadcast. But before we ended, were there any final statements or anything that you all would like to leave with our cast or anything at all? Brother David.
I would just like to say it was a great experience to talk here, and I would say just share your voice. It could never hurt to share your experience with anyone, because I'm sure you have lovely things to say and bring to the world.
Oh, yeah. Adding on to what David said, it has been an amazing experience growing and learning with new people from my community who resemble me or who have commonalities like me, and I just really appreciate everybody in this room. So.
Amen. All right. Well, if that's everything, I want to say thank you all to the panelists for your answers, for the work that you all do, and just for continuing to be an inspiration to not only the ones coming up, but to even the people that are ahead of you all. So you all are doing very great work. And before we wrap up our broadcast, we wanted to invite not only Miss Elizabeth Jackson, but a couple other special members so that we can have a word from them and be able to fully bring this event together. So at this time, can we please have Miss Jackson, and can we give her another warm round of applause, please? This lady is a legend. On the carpet, yeah.
Okay, we're back again, and I just want to introduce a couple people to you, with you. Mrs. Grant is one of our longtime members in East Palo Alto. She's the director of the Senior Center. She's also our new president-elect for our Bayshore Rotary Club for Rotary year 2025-2026. So I wanted to make sure everybody meet her. We also have Tiame Jama, who is a longtime resident of East Palo Alto, who have done all kinds of community service work in our community and still working behind the scene. She also was one of the person that helped on the committee with the speech contests. So I wanted to make sure that they have something to say as well. So Ms. Grant, would you like to say anything?
Sure. Thank you for having me on the program. And I want to give a lot of compliments to you for all the work you're doing with the children. Because sometimes children is being ignored. People don't pay attention to them. But I appreciate and I heard what all the children say here today. And it's amazing for young people to remember and to say things moving forward. And I wish all of you the best of luck in college. And I really admire all that you have said. And Jose, you forgot to say you volunteered with the senior center. But he is one that came in and worked with the center. He is an amazing person. And thanks, Liz, for doing this program. And I appreciate what you're doing to help the young people every year. As Rotarians, we know what we have to do, and we have to support each other. Thank you for having me.
Amen.
My name is Sister Tiambe, and I've been working since I was a teenager in the community. And so I'm very excited to see you all young people. So I have a couple of things I want you to remember. First of all, I am because we are. Not I am because I am. I am because we are. I want you to pass on to other young people dreams. So you need to have them right on their board. I dream. I believe. I work. I achieve. I put in the I work. Usually it's like I dream, I believe, I achieve. I'll keep looking at the camera too. At any rate, I dream. I believe. I work. You have to work for it. I achieve. Straight up. If you remember that, you'll be okay. I brought Boy Scouts over here. They were doing all of this. When I say Boy Scouts, I mean members from my community, and they were community Boy Scouts, if you know what I mean. See, okay, the time is saying, she's saying okay. Anyway, glad to see you. Keep on working.
Okay, I just want to also thank the students. They have done a great job with their presentation and all the questions and also the contest. So we had 3 of them who won first, second, and third place, and all of the rest who are also still doing great jobs in the community. And we want you to give them a great hand for participating in your community and doing the work that they're asked to do every time we ask them. Thank you very much.
Can I say one more thing?
It's up to them.
Just one more thing. I want to say all of you are amazing, and you are going to do a great. You have a great road to travel, and you will do a wonderful job as young people. Thank you.
Amen. All right. Well, that is the end of our broadcast this evening. I want to say thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you all to the lovely panelists for all of your answers, all the work that you all do. And thank you to the parents and family members for all of your support. This has been a blessed evening, and good night. Enjoy your Easter weekend.